It's been a pretty tough year for Great Grandpa Joe. For example, in April he tweeted, "I make no apologies for being the most pro-union president in American history." And for a guy that doesn't remember what day it is, he had a tough time remembering what he did just a few months ago. Fact check on this tweet. On December 22nd, 2022, President Biden signed a bill to block the railroad union from striking. It doesn't quite sound like the most pro-union president ever. Something ain't adding up there, Joe. You want to try again? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Zeducation, and welcome to another episode of That Didn't Age Well. This is the longest running series on Zeducation, and here on this series we highlight hypocritical and lying politicians, mainstream media, and celebrities and entertainers. And why do we do this? Generally on this channel we highlight memes, we try to make you laugh. I mean, don't laugh. Why do we do this? Because this is also hilarious. I love this. This is just, And we have a jam-packed episode today. You guys are going to love this episode. So if you are ready for today's show, head down and like this video. And if you are new here, please make sure you are subscribed and have the bell clicked for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Now, on to today's list of things that didn't age well. Number 10. To start out today's list, we go to Berkeley and one of the professors, Elizabeth Hoover. And in these photos, you can see Elizabeth Hoover is an indigenous woman campaigning for indigenous women. This is what she studies, this is what she teaches, and she teaches activism for indigenous women. That didn't age well because she got struck by the Elizabeth Warren bug. I don't know why this keeps happening, but it does. Berkeley professor apologizes for falsely identifying as indigenous, admits she's a white person. That's my question. Why does this keep happening? Rachel Dolezal, Elizabeth Warren, who is still a senator and still in power, which is mind-boggling. Why? Why does this keep happening? Why do people keep pretending to be things they aren't? I don't know. Number 9. As always on these lists, we cannot have a list of things that didn't age well without Jim Cramer. If you don't follow Jim Cramer, he's a finance guy. He makes predictions on stocks and generally pretty bad ones. First example, 2008, this is our favorite example. Bear Stearns, is what he said about Bear Stearns before they ceased to exist. Bear Stearns is fine. Do not take your money out. Not long after, crash. 2023, First Republic Bank. First Republic is New Focus. Very good bank. A couple days later, crash, ceased to exist. Bought up by JP Morgan. And he's made a lot of other predictions. Another one here. This one's beautiful. May 9th, he said, why betting on Home Depot could be a win right now, according to Jim Cramer. A week later, Home Depot posts worst revenue miss in about 20 years. Lowers forecast as consumers delay big projects. You have to ask why and how. You have such a large voice and you keep misguiding people. Everyone makes bad picks, but why does this keep happening so much with this guy? Number 8. For this one, we go back to April of 2022 when this new cafe opened in Toronto. This new cafe in Toronto is proudly anti-capitalist. And a quote from the owner says, "One thing I want to make more people aware of is that I'm doing pay what you can drip coffee as the first of hopefully many attempts to make great non-corporate coffee more accessible to the working class people who are increasingly denied the good things we all deserve." Trying to run a profitable company as an anti-capitalist is it's not gonna end well. And just a year later, that's what happened. Toronto Anti-Capitalist Anarchist Cafe, where customers pay what you can, shutters after failing to make enough money. It failed. Bad ideas always fail, like this one. Terrible idea. I could have told you that last April, but sometimes you need to learn from experience, right? Will this person learn? Probably not, unfortunately. But, hey, one less anti-capitalist cafe in the world. That's a good thing, right? Number 7. For this one, we go to the NFL. A lot of people, Colin Kaepernick types, they like to make themselves the center of attention and claim there's problems when there's no problems for their own benefit, like Cam Newton. Cam Newton says his dreadlocks are a reason he is not on an NFL roster today. You want to fact check yourself on that one there, Cam? Real quick before we go into a couple players who refute your narrative. I mean, look at this. Robbie Anderson, whatever his new name is, Hamlin, DeAndre Hopkins. Just can we please not let DeAndre Hopkins go to the Chiefs if that doesn't happen? I mean, they're going to be unstoppable at that point if he goes there. My point is, Cam Newton, you want to explain yourself here? Are you doing the Colin Kaepernick? Is that it? Because if that's the case, here's some numbers for you. Kind of refutes that. The highest paid quarterbacks in the league, and that just kind of goes against what Colin Kaepernick is saying in this horrible, awful league, that doesn't like certain quarterbacks, which is not true. It's not true. Anyways, my point is, you're not in the league because you're bad. You're not good. You're a locker room cancer. That's it. The truth is the truth. Number 6. As campaign season ramps up, we're going to see more drama, more people melting down, more people throwing attacks and blah, blah, blah. It's going to be draining. It's going to be annoying. It's not going to be fun. We all know this campaign season. You can't even turn on a screen without seeing an ad that's full of garbage, propaganda from both sides. I'm dreading it. I hate it. I don't like it. I'm over it. One of these things that has been happening, we see from New York Times here, LinkedIn's co-founder helped fund the suit accusing Trump of rape. We know that. That was a big deal. In the civil courts, he was found liable. They are appealing this. Anyways, the circus must go on, right? The same guy, Reid Hoffman, a billionaire and critic of Donald J. Trump, is backing E. Jean Carroll's suit against the former president. This same guy, which is a little bit ironic that he's the one funding this, because this guy, LinkedIn billionaire Reid Hoffman, visited Jeffrey Epstein's private island, planned to visit New York City mansion. Reid. Okay, you want to find and fund suits, do whatever you want, free country, right? But what are you doing on the island? Would you answer those questions before you start, pointing out other people's and funding suits against other people's alleged crimes? Because we got some questions here. Why are you at the island? Huh? And as a reminder, zero Epstein clients have been held accountable. Zero. None of them are in jail. None of them. Isn't it weird? Epstein had this island where weird stuff happened. Criminal stuff happened. He went to prison for it. Ghislaine went to prison for it. But none of their clients. Reid, you have this platform. You can come on the show and explain yourself. It's all yours, man. We know you won't do that, but number 5. For this one, we go to Chicago, to South Shore, where residents are not happy. We have an influx of immigrants across the border, and people don't know where to put them, so they're putting them in sanctuary cities, because that's what sanctuary cities want, right? But residents of Chicago are not happy. Here's a couple of clips of them speaking about this situation.
All these resources that have not come to us, now you want to overly compensate for people who never lived here before, and we need to be taken care of first and foremost before anything else happens here.
Why would any leader put our black communities already riddled with crime at further risk by placing unvetted non-taxpayers steps away from our seniors, our children, and our homes we've worked so hard on our own to secure?
I did get placed on a wait list, but I was told that the immigrants was taking priority. See, that's a story that a lot of people don't know, and it hurt me. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I understand we need to be humanitarian, but these people that my participants are 3rd and 4th generation Chicagoans, born, bred, fed, and raised here. My grandmother, Mayrella Carrington, rest in peace, always said, Craig, charity starts at home first, and then it go abroad.
Many of these migrants have been dumped in our neighborhoods without a plan in place to monitor and house them long term.
Politically, having over 500 people in our community would completely wipe out any interest we have.
Before everyone in the neighborhood gets all upset, I just have to point out that this is kind of what you voted for. And overwhelmingly, almost 95% for Biden. Hard to say what would have happened under Trump. I can give you some predictions, but and I have to say too, you kind of sound like you're going America first here. with what you're saying in these clips. I remember when that was a bad thing. Hey, we should prioritize our own citizens that have been here for a long time and come here legally. I remember not too long ago when that was a horrific thing. So be careful what you're saying there, all right? Because I'm offended. Number 4. This one maybe did age well, I think. I don't know, anyways.
I'd like to be able to, anyway.
Congratulations to Stephen Curry. That's what I want to start with here. Congratulations to Stephen Curry. As the NBA tweeted here, Golden State Warriors guard Stephen Curry named 2023 Social Justice Champion, receiving the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Trophy for his work to foster equity, create access to opportunity, drive voter engagement, and build community safety. $100,000 will be donated to University of San Francisco Institute for Nonviolence and Social Justice. So again, he won the award. He got the money for his charity, whatever. But I gotta bring you back to just a few months ago. Stephen Curry and his wife were promoting equity and inclusion and, helping foster good communities. When NBA star Stephen Curry pushed to block low-income housing development from being constructed behind his $30 million mansion. In the article, Steph Curry and his wife, Aisha, are against the idea of low-income housing development near their $30 million mansion in Atherton, California. The Currys oppose the developments so strongly that they wrote a letter to the town voicing concerns about their privacy and safety if the development is pushed forward. But you just won the award for creating access to opportunity. Don't you want affordable housing? Don't you want access to that opportunity? This is like the perfect symbol and example of politics, altruism today. You ignore the things you want to ignore. I digress. Moving on. Number 3, yet another beautiful example from the community notes on Twitter. This is just glorious. And then we have another. I think this one should be number 1. It's my favorite one on this whole list, I think. The next one's pretty good too, and the next one, but let's get to this one. So this Dr. Charlotte Proudman tweeted, "What a beautiful photograph of white male privilege and entitlement. Sums up who rules our country." And a pretty basic community notes that is common knowledge. I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a great-great-grandma that was the queen before King Charles. But the community notes did a good job at reminding this person, saying, for 134 of the last 200 years, the head of state of the United Kingdom has been a woman. The patriarchy. Oh, man. So what about those over half? Well over half. Again, you ignore the facts that go against your dogma. Just ignore them. That's it. That's what you do. And then you feel good about yourself and about what you believe. That's how it's done. And perfect example by Dr. Charlotte here. And sticking on the royal family, we had a lot of outrage about, the patriarchy, the white supremacy, for example. And this lady in this video does a great job of debunking that, I guess, if you want to say. But here we go.
An actress from Bridgerton went on UK TV complaining that this photo of the coronation was too white. Well, funny that, seeing as they're all related, it's not that surprising that they look like each other. Anyway, she thinks that there should be more diversity in the royal family. So I'm not sure how she's going to enforce that. Should there be quotas for members of the royal family, or any white family for that matter, to marry a person of color? Because that would mean that it would be an arranged marriage, and I bet you she's against those. So I'm not sure how you would enforce this theory that she has. Anyway, so I checked some other royal families around the world to see if it was just the evil colonizing UK royal family that had a problem with diversity, and it turns out it's not. But you wouldn't hear about it. This is a royal family in India. They all look the same. They all have the same skin color. This is the UAE royal family. They all look very similar, and I don't even spot a woman. This is the Thai royal family. Also looking very similar. So much diversity. This is the Japanese royal family.
I'm just taken back.
They could be related. So in the interest of fairness, I think this woman should come out and speak about these royal families who also have a lack of diversity. but I don't think she will, because that could be seen as racist. Because remember, you can't be racist against white people.
It's so yummy. It's so good. Because these people are idiots. They have to be outraged about something, and they divert their hate to only one group of people. And it's kind of crazy because they're, against that, allegedly, but they're not. I digress. Moving on. Number 2. We can't have one of these lists today without highlighting Bud Light. Okay, Bud Light has been the talk of a lot of stuff. Now Target is in the crosshairs, but we're going to focus on Bud Light for this one. So this article was written last September. Bud Light's new leader, Alyssa Heinershed, on how she'll approach the job. The VP of Marketing is one of Ad Age's 2022 40 Under 40 honorees. And they were updating their article very fast. We know this. You guys, if you've been paying attention at all, here's their leadership 40 Under 40 lady. Bud Light's marketing leadership undergoes shakeup after Dylan Mulvaney controversy. So quickly, I don't even know what's going on with this lady anymore. She got put on leave, or she took leave. I don't know. She's not in charge of marketing right now because it's been a disaster. Such a disaster. You can see the sales here. Look at this. This is the first boycott in the history of boycotts that has ever worked. And it's beautiful. I love to see it, People are sick of it. They're sick of it. They just give us the beer without the propaganda. And that's what people are voting for with their dollars. And it's so bad, in fact, that Bud Light is literally giving away their beer for free at some stores. This is a real photo. I believe this was in Wisconsin. So that's where they're at. It's not good for them. It's good for everyone else, And recently, an old Bud Light commercial has popped up. And it's just, a little bit funny to see where they were and where they are now. Fate loves irony, I guess. But check out this Bud Light commercial from a couple decades ago. Maybe it did age well as well. You be the judge.
Table 7 and 8. And remember, you're playing for Bud Light, lady. The boys are back in town.
These guys are good.
Who are you calling guys?
Yeah.
Looks like you're in the finals.
Ma'am, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're the defending ladies pool champion?
Yes, I am.
Number 1. This one, we have to cover it. We have to. I know you guys you don't like to think about it. But for this one, we go to Fauci when he was, 15 days to slow the spread. March 16th, 2020. 15 days. And this didn't age well because this lasted for 3 years, where they literally just ended all of this. On Monday, April 10th, 2023, the president signed into law HJ Resolution 7, which terminates the national emergency related to the COVID-19 pandemic. 15 days to slow the spread, more like 3 years to speed up the money. Lots of money involved, PPP loans, lots of fraud. That's well documented. And on this, we go to Trudeau, who is literally trying to rewrite history with all this and all the authoritarian things that he did during this whole time.
Individuals are allowed to make their own choices. There may be all sorts of different reasons why someone is hesitant to get vaccinated. There's no more excuses to not get your shot. And therefore, while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated, enforcement measures in place will make sure that everyone is vaccinated. I chose to make sure that all the incentives, travelers across the country need to be fully vaccinated. People coming into the country need to be fully vaccinated. We're there, don't get to work in the public service, don't get to go to movie theaters or gyms or restaurants, to encourage Canadians to get vaccinated. And that's exactly what they...
Ooh. That's the beautiful thing about social media, right? We get to document this stuff and make sure people know. Again, sadly, people will just ignore it and on to the next thing, and they'll still support them. I know we don't really have much to stand on here, Canada, but get it together. Please. I know. And we got to get it together too. In the meantime, let's all continue to point and laugh at these clowns. It's all we can do at this point. Bonus! Flashback to 2020. I had to include this one because it's just kind of crazy that they did this. The Hill tweeted, anti-Semitic crime in Germany at highest level recorded. You want to fact check yourself on that one? Corrected. Anti-Semitic crime in Germany hits highest level in nearly 2 decades. I don't know if World War II didn't age well fast. And bonus number 2. We have to end on this one. This is just insane to me. Look at this photo. Alec Baldwin holds gun backward on new Rust set after fatal shooting charges dropped. Like, you didn't learn anything, man? You didn't learn anything. Even though it's a prop gun, that should have been the lesson. Even though it's a prop gun, you treat it like it's loaded. Always. You got a Nerf gun. You pretend it's real. Always. Squirt gun. Pretend it's real. Gun safety. It's one of the most important things you can teach. And you, as an adult, went through this horrific thing, and you're still doing this. Like, really, man? Really? What do you think about today's video? Which of these examples is your favorite? Did you laugh at any? You know, did any of them bring back flashbacks? Let me know in the comments. What do you think about all these examples? While you're down there, please like this video. Please help us get it recommended. Please let everyone see this insanity, this hypocrisy, this craziness. That's it for today's video. Till next time, I'm Tyler Zed. This is Zeducation.
For the children.
Idiots.